Python's Bride, Part 2. Ojo and Ada ran through the thick forest, their hearts racing with fear. The forest was dark and spooky, and the ground shook as the giant serpent Ojadili chased them. The cries and sounds of the village battle faded behind them. They came across an old hidden hut and quickly went inside, trying to hide from Ojadili's glowing eyes and hissing noises. Ada looked worried but determined. "Why did you come for me?" Ojo asked. Ada replied, "I couldn't stay and watch my best friend face this alone." They heard Ojadili getting closer. The girls knew they had to move away. "Let's get out of here. He's coming closer," Ada said. "But to where? Where will we run to?" Ojo asked, being scared. "I don't know. Let's just go," Ada said as she dragged Ojo out of the hut into the dark forest. Ada led the way with a small clearing with a big ancient tree. Underneath the tree was a secret entrance. "This must be it," Ada said, her voice shaking a little. "Let's go inside." "Wait, where is this?" Ojo asked. "There is no time to explain, my princess, but I just know that I have to save you. Let's go." Before Ojo could say a word, Ada dragged her into the tunnel. The tunnel was dark and twisty, but they finally found a hidden chamber with an old, wise woman. She looked at them with knowing eyes and said, "I've been waiting for you. I knew you would come, led by your honest friend." Ojo recognized her as the old woman who had told her about her destiny. "You? Do I know you?" Ojo asked. "You do, my princess," the old woman said. "I am the wisest of my kind and the keeper of the tunnel. I've been here from the beginning and I'll be here even after the end." The hisses of Ojadili grew closer, as though he had entered the tunnel too. "Please help us," Ada said, shivering. "Ojadili is chasing us, and we need a place to hide." The wise woman nodded. "No one hides from a spirit," the old woman said. Suddenly, Ojadili's hissing was very close, and when they turned back, it was already day. The old woman knelt before the serpent, and Ojo and Ada did the same, trembling with fear. "I beg for mercy," the old woman said. "Please, give me 7 market days to help her understand her destiny." Ojadili calmed himself as he looked at Ojo. 7 days. 7 market days you have. I shall be back in 7 market days." He agreed and slithered away, promising to return in 7 market days. Ada and Ojo collapsed, exhausted and scared. The old woman turned to them. "There are things you need to know, my princess. Rise and follow me." Ada looked at Ojo and Ojo looked back at her. Ada got up and helped the princess to stand too. The old woman began to move and the girls followed. She suddenly stopped and looked back. "You cannot come with us. This is only for Princess Ojo," she said to Ada. "Never. I do not trust you. And I can't leave her with you," Ada said defiantly. The old woman looked at Ojo and Ojo looked back at her. Then the old woman turned and walked away. Ada held the princess' hand and they followed her. They followed the old woman deeper into the forest until they reached a bright magical place. Everything was white and sparkling. "This is the place of purity," the wise woman said. "Here, Princess Ojo will see her destiny and the dangers if she doesn't fulfill it. Get into the hut, my princess." Ada was worried. "Is there no other way? Maybe we can sit and watch the destiny being played out or something," Ada suggested. "Is this some kind of joke to you?" the wise woman said sharply. "This is beyond what you imagine." Turning to Ojo, the woman continued, "My princess, this is your destiny. The future of Ukana is in your hands. Will you stay alive and watch the people of Ukana suffer from the old plague that was cleansed by mercy?" Ojo was confused. "Old plague? What is she talking about?" Ada asked. "Go in and see it for yourself, my princess," the old woman said. Ojo was scared but brave. She prepared to enter the glowing hut, and Ada held her hand, whispering, "Be strong, I'm here for you. I will wait until you return." Ojo nodded as she walked into the hut. Inside, everything was bright and glowing. Ojo touched a shining stone slab, and the light grew brighter. Ada looked at the old woman, who suddenly disappeared. Ada got scared and screamed, running toward the hut, but it suddenly vanished too. She screamed bitterly, calling for Ojo, but Ojo never answered. Ada collapsed on the white soil and cried bitterly. She thought the old woman had deceived them and that now the princess was gone. Meanwhile, the old woman was just trying to help. The hut was a sacred place where destinies are revealed. Once the keeper of the hut, which is the old woman, left to witness the revelation of the seeker, the hut would vanish and could only return once the seeker had finished seeing the future. Ojo traveled into her destiny. First, she saw herself in a dark forest and a grand scary wedding with Ojadili. She saw how happy the people of Ukana were after the wedding. She met an old man who introduced himself as her forefather. My daughter, I know it's not easy to leave your loved ones to be in the forest as a bride of a god, but you have to. If not, the people will suffer again. He suddenly disappeared as her village appeared before her. She saw her people suffering from a terrible plague, with everyone sick and the field turned dry. A voice warned her, these were the people of Ukana until Ojadili came for their rescue. If you refuse your destiny, the plague will return, worse than before. When the vision ended, Ojo was back in the white hut, feeling the weight of her destiny. The old woman appeared and said, you must face your destiny to save your people. Ada was tired of waiting and ready to go home, believing Ojo was gone. Suddenly, she saw that the hut has returned. As she got closer, she saw Ojo coming out of the hut. Princess, Ada called as she ran closer and held Ojo. Ojo didn't say anything. Go and think about your decision, my princess, the old woman said. The destiny of the people of Ukana rests on your shoulders. Back in the village, the king and the elders faced the harsh reality of the oracle's prophecy. They watched the oracle in fear as his words sank in, knowing that they had no choice but to prepare for the possibility of further suffering. It is the fulfillment of the prophecy, my king. Ojo must marry the guardians of the forest, or we will suffer the plague of the olden days. Is there no other way out? The king asked. The gods have not spoken yet, the oracle said. They stayed silent in the shrine. As Ojo and Ada approached the village, Ada suddenly stopped her and asked, what is your plan, my princess? You haven't said a word to me since you got back from the vision. Let's get to the palace first, Ojo said to Ada. The two friends continued their journey back to the palace. Watch out for part 3.